Hey everyone, welcome back. In one of my previous videos, The Real Truth Behind Why Your House is Always a Mess, I talked about 14 ways to be aware of clutter creeping in. Today, I want to talk more about how to actually break the chain of clutter. Do you ever declutter things from your home and wonder why it doesn't seem to make as big of an impact as you'd like it to? I want to let you in on a little secret that I've learned. It is so much harder to get things out of your house than it is to get them there in the first place. Literally, I think about purchasing something from Amazon. I can do it from the comfort of my bed or my couch without ever leaving my house. Getting rid of even that same item by donating it requires me to put the item in my car, leave my house, drive a few miles, get out of my car, hand it to someone, get back in my car, and drive home. When we were first in the process of decluttering our home, I really felt like unless something changed in a big way, I was just going to acquire new stuff to fill the space back up. And if you've ever decluttered, you know it's a process. I realized I had to change my habits. I had to change my relationship with stuff. Here are some of the main ways that I changed my habits, and as a result, my relationship with stuff changed. Number one, I stopped looking to stuff to solve my problems. How often do we notice a need or a lack and immediately start browsing for a gadget that will solve that problem? I know I was doing that a lot. But I had to start looking inwardly to see what was actually at the root of that problem. For example, if I always feel like I'm running late in the mornings, I may be tempted to buy some gadget that will save me time. Since I've stopped looking to stuff to solve my problems, I will look at my habits instead. If I feel like I'm running late in the morning, the real cause could very well be that I need to get up earlier in the morning, which if you've ever tried forming that habit, you'll know it usually begins with going to bed earlier the night before. Looking to habits to help us solve a problem is going to help us be more organized, have less clutter, and be more in control of our lives. Now, obviously there are times when a habit change isn't enough to solve a problem, but make sure you are really honest with yourself about when this is. Number two, I stopped going shopping for fun without a purpose. Remember the popular phrase, shop till you drop? Don't get me wrong, I used to love to go shopping for fun and without a plan. There was something so thrilling about the hunt of finding and buying something new and unexpected. But shopping and spending and acquiring things has become a hobby for a lot of us, which is where a lot of clutter comes from. As I've decluttered so much stuff, I've often thought, where did all this stuff come from in the first place? And I've realized it's kind of a cycle. We acquire too many things, then we start to feel overwhelmed and stressed. Then we buy storage bins or gadgets or whatever else is marketed to us as something that will help us get our lives under control, which then leads us to having more stuff. And then we feel overwhelmed and stressed, and then we buy more. See how that happens? I'm not proposing that you never step foot in a store again, but shopping intentionally and with a plan allows you to retain control and not come home with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need. I recently decluttered a couple of shirts that had worn holes in them. So I went shopping with some friends, and it was still so fun because I was looking for something particular, new shirts. And even though I didn't find anything I liked enough to buy, I still had fun and came home without the guilt and without the clutter. And closely tied to quitting shopping for fun is not browsing shopping apps for fun. I'm looking at you, Target and Amazon. It can waste time, and you'll almost always find things that you think you need. I had to delete most of the shopping apps on my phone to get out of this habit. Years ago, I used to check Target's sale ad as soon as it came out. Of course, I almost always found something I needed. I can still shop with the Target app and get a good deal, but I just have to do it a little differently. Instead of going straight to the ad to see what's on sale this week and what it is that I need, there's a spot in the app where I've saved a list of things that I am watching. These are things that I need but that I want to get at the best price possible, so I add them to my list in the Target app. Then I can watch those items for a month or two beforehand and wait for the best deal. So now when I shop in the app, I skip the ad and look at the things that are on my watch list. If they're on sale, they'll have red writing next to them. If not, I don't even bother clicking on them, and then I get out of the app. Number four, I unsubscribed from promotional emails. This was one that was hard because I just knew I was going to miss out on a good deal. What if my kids needed new jeans and I missed out on a good sale? I do love a good deal, and I certainly did not want to miss a good deal in the event that I needed to buy something. But I began to notice what was actually happening each time I would open a promotional email. it would plant a seed of want. And then I would see it again, and it would make me want the item even more. And then eventually, I was convinced that I needed the item. I realized that these emails are designed to make you want things, to make you think you need things. Suddenly, I'm thinking about this sweater that I think I need, and 5 minutes ago, I didn't even know it existed. Advertising is designed to convince us that we really need this item in order to be prettier, smarter, more efficient, save time, etc. Unsubscribing from promotional emails has not only freed up my inbox, but it has also helped me not spend as much money. Number 5, I started being more mindful of what I bought in bulk. This one may be a little bit controversial, but buying in bulk can be a source of clutter. I'm not proposing we all get rid of our Costco memberships. In fact, my Costco membership is actually an asset to me. I mentioned this in my video, The Real Truth About Why Your House is Always a Mess, but a lot of us like to save money, and buying in bulk is often cheaper per unit. But it has taken years of figuring out what I shouldn't buy in bulk. And here's some of the things I came up with. Something I want to try. Buying something at Costco that I want to try can be a gamble. Maybe I love it and I'm glad I have a large quantity. But a lot of times I hate it and I'm stuck with a large quantity. Another criteria I use, something that I'm not going to be able to use before it expires or is no longer useful. And lastly, something that is going to take a really long time to get through, or something that I'm not ever going to be able to use because it's in a much bigger quantity than I really need. A friend recently told me, quote, I bought a box of staples years ago at Sam's Club, and it was a big box that had probably 8 or more boxes of 5,000 staples each. So I probably have had upwards of 25,000 staples in my house for years. And using maybe 3 or 4 staples a week, well, you do the math, end quote. If you're familiar with Costco's treasure hunt strategy, you'll know they set up their stores in a way that's not meant to be a quick trip in and out. They constantly move their products, so you have to go through more of the store. And while you're looking for that thing you came for, you'll notice they've brought in a lot of new products since you were here last. They have a lot of items that are marked down in order to draw you in, and in a way that will make you think you have to buy them because they probably won't be here next time. By having you go through more of the store and making it so there's always something new and interesting, it makes you shop longer and buy more things. I watched a really interesting video done by the Wall Street Journal about this very thing. I'll link it here below. Number 6, I stopped opening that coupon pack that came in my mail every week. Unless you are looking for a specific coupon, opening these almost always opens up your brain to deciding you need something. I used to open these and look at them every week, but now I don't even open them. Even though they are specific to my area, I'm not going to miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime if I throw them straight in the trash. I found that a lot of times when I would look through them and find what I thought was a good coupon, I had to go out of my way to use it. This often led to more spending and more clutter. And that's to say nothing of the fact that these coupons themselves often add to the clutter. I'm not saying coupons are bad, because they're not, but be aware of how you go about using them. A lot of times we go about coupons backwards. We buy because we have a coupon instead of using a coupon because we were going to buy the item anyway. Number 7, I stopped following people on social media who encouraged me to buy. I find there's a lot of this on almost any social media platform, whether it's a kitchen gadget, a certain type of makeup, certain hair products, etc. When you see someone who looks like they have great hair, for instance, and they're promoting a specific hair product, we automatically think, if I buy this product that they're promoting, then I'll have great hair too. Do you remember the shampoo commercials from the 90s? Their hair looked so thick and shiny, and so naturally we all thought we should buy that shampoo so that our hair will look like that too. Social media ads are the same idea, but it seems a little harder to say no because we see so many people promoting the same thing, and these people are more human to us than that random shampoo commercial model. These are often people in our communities. I have found that when we buy things that social media is telling us we should have, it is never going to be an end-all be-all once we buy that thing. That's why they call it a trend. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, one of the definitions of trend is a current style or preference. Recommendations can be helpful, but don't fall into the trap of feeling like you'll eventually have made it because you have those trendy products. So you acquire that mug that everyone's been talking about. Now what? It's soon going to be on to another product that you'll feel like you should have. Soon you'll have acquired a lot of products that didn't really do much for you, and you'll have a house full of clutter. I am very selective in my social media usage. Yes, I am aware of the fact that this message is being brought to you via social media, but I'm very selective about who I follow. Even with that, I decided to do a little experiment. I got on Instagram for 5 minutes. I timed it. In those 5 minutes, I saw ads for a parenting class that will alleviate my biggest parenting worries, a home scent device, vitamins that will help me feel better than I've felt in years, a trendy sweatshirt, a digestive enzyme that will change my life, a baby wrap, a tulip vase, and an ad for an Airbnb. All in the span of 5 minutes. And that is from my own Instagram feed. Some of those were ads, but it was from me scrolling my own feed. As someone who is already extremely careful who and what I follow, I was still seeing all that. And in conjunction with this, I would say following anyone or any account on social media that makes you feel discontented with what you have. These sometimes look like things we come across on social media that make you feel like you need a bigger house, or nicer furniture, or just anything that leaves you feeling like you're lacking. Never before has it been so obvious to us what other people's spending habits are. We're constantly seeing this person's new house, or this person's new couch, or this person's new whatever it is. If you feel like you always feel discontented after seeing a specific social media account, just consider unsubscribing. Number 8, I stopped buying things that were not timeless. When we buy things that are timeless, whenever another trend comes along, you don't have to completely change your house or your wardrobe or your accessories or whatever. That can be a big source of clutter. Number 9, I stopped stocking up on things when they were on sale. This was a big one for me. Whenever Target used to run their Black Friday sales and you spent $75 or more, you would get a coupon for 20% off your entire purchase on Cyber Monday. Combine that with the red card 5% discount and I would be able to get 25% off my entire purchase. I used to have it down to a science how long it took me to go through a bottle of body wash, a tube of mascara, a bottle of laundry soap, deodorant, etc. I would also use it to stock up on diapers, wipes, kid soap, lotion for me, toothpaste, floss, sanitizer, etc. Unfortunately, the list went on. I had calculated how much I would use in the course of a year, and then when this sale hit, I would buy enough of those items to last the entire year. And while my stockpile was organized, I realized I didn't really like the way that my home started to feel like a small store. I used to keep all of these items in my linen closet here in my hallway. Now that I don't do that anymore, I keep a very low inventory of things. You can see here what I do keep extras of. These are some bubble baths for the kids that we've had. We've had some of these in here for a while, so they just need to get used up. We have extra toothbrushes, extra toothpaste, chapstick, floss, contacts, limited amount of makeup. I don't want to be caught without in the event of an emergency, but there are very few things that we would actually need in the event of an emergency. And a lot of things I don't even stock up on anymore because I can tell when I'm running low and I can get it before I run out. I may not get as good of a deal per item as I used to, but it is worth it to pay a little extra to have a more peaceful home that doesn't feel like a store. This will likely look different for every family based on their circumstances, but you may want to ask yourself, is it worth it to stock up? Number 10, I stopped trying to fill space just because I had it. We often ask ourselves the wrong questions. We will sometimes see something appealing and say, where can I put this? Or what could I do with this? When in reality, the better question would be, do I really need this? Or will this serve a purpose nothing else I have already does? And also, I would add that this can be a holdup in the decluttering process too. We don't think we need to get rid of something because we have a spot for it. In my video, 7 Principles for Organizing Any Space, I talked about embracing open spaces. Just because you have the space does not mean you have to fill it. And I will add here, just because something has a spot does not mean it should stay in your home. Make the things in your house earn their spot. Keep only the things that really add value. I realized pretty early on in my decluttering journey that decluttering is ongoing, regardless of whether you've already decluttered your home. I still have to declutter my home on a regular basis in order to keep clutter out. But changing these 10 habits has made for less clutter in my home. Changing my habits is what has really made it possible for me to keep myself from ending up with a house full of way too much stuff again. If you haven't watched my video on what decluttering did for me, I will link it below. I would love to hear in the comments below, what habits have you had to change to keep clutter down in your home? Please like and subscribe, that really helps me out a lot. It also helps take this video to other people who could benefit from it. Thanks for watching, friends. Have a great day.